For exercise 151-67 using Creo for CAD 241, the way that I'm going to start this one is going to be based off of the front view, and again this is going to be a revolved profile. So I want to click on front and then click sketch, and we'll go ahead and hit sketch again. Now I'm going to zoom in real far, and in this case I'm just going to begin by drawing a single line. And I want this single line just so that I can get my bearings as far as heights. So now I will go ahead and change this to 1.75 because that's the overall height for my object. Now I want to go ahead and draw the rest of the profile. Go down, angle down a little bit further, come down again, and then close off back at the center line. Now it is shaded, but the next thing I want to do is add a geometric center line. That way so everything on that front will work a little bit better. Now I'm going to go to my dimension tool. The outside diameter up here is 1.5, so I'll click there, the center line, and back to here. And that is going to be 1.5. The overall diameter, which is right here, will be 5. The height of this particular object is 0.38. The overall height is 1.75. And the height from here down is also 1.38. So we'll click here, here, and put in 1.38 here. Now, this is the completed profile that I'm going to use for this particular exercise. So I'll go ahead and say OK. Finish my sketch. Click Revolve, and it should automatically pick up the profile and the path because I used that geometric center line. I'll hit the checkbox to accept it. And now I want to go ahead and create an axis that runs right through the center of this part. That way I can use it for the hole that I'm about to create. So I'll zoom in here a little bit, and I'll click on my hole command. And notice it automatically selected that axis as where it was going to be, so I don't have to do anything as far as the placement is concerned, except select the actual face that it's going to be on. The diameter is 1, and let me come in here to placement, and we will select that face. Actually, let me click back on here, and I'm going to remove that for a second. Now for placement, I'm going to hold Control, and I'm going to click that face and then the axis, and that's going to put it exactly where I want it to be. So now I can hit the checkbox, and I've got that hole in. Now for the rest of this object, I'm going to have to get a little bit creative. I need to create a work plane, which is this button right here, and I want that work plane to be lined up with this top surface of where this flat part comes up and starts to create the angle. I want that to be right there. So I'll create that plane and then create a sketch on that plane. Now it doesn't really matter how I do this. I'm just going to go ahead and click sketch, and what I want to do is I want to come in here and zoom in a little bit. I need to use the use command, and I'm going to use this outside rim right here. Let me go ahead and roll this around so that I'm actually working where I'm looking. So I've got that outer rim right there. So now I want to draw a circle that's going to be on this, and off of that circle I'm going to draw 2 normal lines. My first normal, so it'll be right here at the very top of this, and it's going to come straight out and intersect there. I then need another line right at the bottom coming straight out and intersecting there. Now I can use delete segment to get rid of the segments that I don't need for this operation. And what I should be left with is a filled in circle that has all the information that I need. I need to enter the radius for this, which is going to be 0.44. And I need the distance from the center line, which in this case is going to be 2. And what that's going to do is that's going to create this extrusion. So I'm going to finish this sketch. Then I'm going to go to extrude, and it wants to go down, but I want it to go the other way through all, and I want it to remove material. Next I can hit the checkbox. Now that that's created, I'm going to click on my pattern tool, and I want to set it up for axis, with my axis being the main axis that runs through the part. There are 4, so I can hit the checkbox. Now I'm going to create a new axis at the center of that piece. We'll say OK, click on Whole, and I'm going to hold down Control and select this face and this axis to locate everything. The diameter of these holes is 0.5, and they go through all. So I can finish that hole, click back on pattern, and in this case it is a referenced pattern. You notice that it's already picking up those 4 places based off of the previous pattern. So I can just hit my checkbox and it'll place the holes. Okay, for some reason it didn't pattern the holes using reference, but that's okay, done being locked up. Okay, so I click on hole, hold Control. My computer seems to be frozen pretty good. Hold Control, left click that face and that axis. It is a diameter of 5, and I'm going to set it up to go through all. Hit the checkbox, click on pattern, and instead of reference this time I'm going to use axis and select the axis, and then hit the checkbox. Sometimes the reference doesn't really always bring everything around, so in this case we had to use reference anyway, or use axis anyway. But there is the completed drawing for 151-67.